Good morning. Today is Saturday. We are in the Green Mountains. We are in new territory today, and we are going to scout what I believe is going to be a pond shortly down the way from here. We are in conjunction with the AT currently and making our way northeast. That is going to be our plan today. We don't really have a large agenda, so we're scouting new territory. We'll see what we find, and that is what today brings. We'll see what it does, and we'll get going. Okay, so we are en route. We are actually on the AT right now, and or a stretch of it. There's a pond system in here I haven't been to before. So I think we're coming up on it. That is my hope, and I'm going to start rolling video in the hope that we're doing that. Our basic agenda for the day is to check for sign around this pond system, which was not a major distance from where I started out. And yes, I am cheating and using the AT as kind of an ingress to the area, but work smarter, not harder is the adage, I guess, for the day. And we'll go from there. I don't really have, as I said in the intro, a large spelled out agenda for the day. Basically, follow this through to an area, basically because it gives me an easy way of doing it. I thought we were near there. If Google Maps is to be believed, it does seem to open up over there. So I'm in its vicinity. It wasn't a major distance to cover to get in there. And should I come up empty here, there's another spot I might like to check out as well, which is to the south of this entire area. But we will do what we can, and there's also the risk of running into backpacker traffic through here, because again, this is the AT. Last time I did this, I ran into a fair amount of through hikers that were coming through, and this is more their environment than mine, so that's okay. I actually am more the intruder here than that. But they provide easy access to the area I'd like to get to, and I think we're coming up on it. As I keep saying that, we'll see how far I have to go through this. The only problem I really have with trails like this, because they do get beaten on by foot traffic, they get muddy. And that kind of cuts into the experience a little bit. But it does open up over there. I'm going to get in here and take a look at the situation we're in. I also found out here this morning that apparently Massachusetts, our neighboring group, is joining the, well, they've done this before, but they're joining the conference industry formally by having a formal conference in southern Massachusetts. I'm not going to mention its name because the individual who's throwing it has mentioned online more than once that he is the copyright holder of this, and the last thing I need to do is give him the opportunity to throw a copyright strike against my video channel or something. I'm not going to give him the option, so. But they're doing that. They haven't announced their speakers yet. It's sometime in October. The name has the name of the month in it, so, and I'll play on words, but I'm not going to say the name so I don't give him the opening. But that is his venue, and I don't know what he's intending to do with it. I could make a very educated guess as to who the speakers will or won't be, considering he has friends in the Finding Bigfoot realm of things, so I would be horrified and shocked to find out it's Bobo or Cliff, not. Okay, so we're here. We have, trying to remember, that's kind of, hold on. it's doing. All right, we're back. The camera's again doing that all bright thing again. So new symptom, but we are at the wetland in question. It is swampy. We're actually on this right now, which is keeping me out of the water line. So I guess mission one is to find a point of ingress where I can get off this, if that is in fact possible, and that, or otherwise I will have to do a plan B, because this over here is kind of thick right where it is. I'll need to find a way in. But what I can already see, let's back up for a minute. There is a little meadow here, and if you look further out, there is an opening over there as well as what's over here. This was my target for the morning. So my mission is to find a way into this without having to have hip waders or some loveliness. Not overly worried about it, but we'll kind of get over to the other side of this and then find ingress if possible. This has possibilities. When we're in here, I may change up cameras, because number one, I have a new camera that's hands-free that I might want to try. It has a 2-axis gimbal and is wearable almost like iCams, which was kind of my plan B should this camera's all brightness thing continue to plague the morning, because that's usually signs the camera is getting grumpy in its old age or some such. Okay, we're going to actually make a hard stop here because we have solid ground, because there is an actual trail here. So we're going to start out from ease of entry over here, and from there we'll check out the other part and we'll have a look. But let's see what we got. Other point of comment would be that during the course of the morning, it wasn't totally certain whether or not I was going to drone or not today, given that driving in there was a lot of fog when I first got here. The sun has since burned it off. But again, for lack of an agenda, basically what we're going to do today is check this out. So there's water over here, and we're going to paste this. If I remember right, it's this, and then there's 2 to the other side, and we're going to do all of this. And not the highest degree of difficulty today, so far anyway. But that's our plan, and we're going to see how that does, and then for the sole purpose, I'm going to test the other camera during the course of some exercises, like film myself putting the drone in the air, as well as some other things. Okay, so I had my first early morning run-in with some friendly backpackers. That was to be expected. The AT has that. They're looking for a moose. I had to scold them with their noise level, because moose have big ears and they're blind as shit. So unfortunately, if they hear you coming, you're probably not going to see one. But that is how that works. It just dawned on me too that if I do actually use this camera in conjunction with the other one, I am going to need to remember what order I did that in, or it's going to be a awkward video. But the thing I liked about those 2 gentlemen was they were actually polite about whether I was like actually filming or not. They weren't going to intrude. That's actually very considerate of them. Nice guys. And again, quintessential through hiker guys. So I am basically, as far as my mindset goes, here's a overall the view. It's a meadow. I'll probably pause and get some photos too, but I'm going over here because I want to see if there's something over that way too, which potentially would lead me to work further in and the like. So I wonder if those two guys were the guys camping near where I parked. There was a campsite down the way from there, and there was somebody home. I wonder if that's those two. They seemed more sedentary, though. Yeah, I'm just curious if this opens up or becomes waterlogged, because that's usually the point of not wanting to go much further. But this is the nature of the terrain. I was hoping to do some tracking in here, but admittedly the terrain is not ideal. It is what it is. But true to my luck with the drone too, the wind kicks up the minute I get in here, and I start thinking about that. When I walked in, there wasn't a lick of wind at all. But anywho, and if it does open up, the other question then becomes, how open is this and how much does the terrain change? Because it's already moving like a scrub brush kind of thing. But it does look like it opens up a little more anyway. What do we got? Gets more moundy. I'd like to get over in the middle over here, at least to get the view. So the role for the new camera is going to be potentially one of kind of like the multitasking hands-free camera. So like if I put the drone in the air, like I said before, or things around camp in a camping situation, I may use it in that capacity. But as far as the wind goes, I do have both drones. The Mini is notoriously pissy about any significant amount of wind, whereas the other one is a little tank when it comes to that and is fairly good. Let me come over here. We can inadvertently see how far in that goes. And I'm also trying to remember this versus the map. I don't think there was a lot in here. I think that's about, it just goes back to that over there. So I'm going to go how far? If this doesn't become like all insurmountable, I'm going to snake over around the corner here, because it looks like I'm on some kind of a game trail. So other folks have come through here. I also want to make a tentative warning to people. A member of my family has, or is getting over, what is known as babesia, I think it's called, which is not Lyme disease, but it is caused by deer ticks. And I had to Google, I hadn't heard of it before, but I Googled the symptoms, and needless to say, if you've ever had malaria, you'll know what you're in for. It's not fun. My sister was fucked up for the better part of, at least, I think she said like 2 months. So be advised that, I think this is as far as we're practically going to go. We'll go check out the other area once we get the drone in the air. It's just one of those things where if you're going to be outdoors in the summer and early fall in the warmer months, generically speaking, DEET for your gear, and, Permethrin for your gear, and for you, your dogs, and shit like that, DEET. Use it, live it, love it. Because it will save you. The alternative is not anything you really want. I had to bark at a former boss years ago because he thought he had been exposed to Lyme. And he also had been hesitant to get it looked at. We have some poo of some kind here. foot for reference. It looks to be solid and has like berry bits in it, so that could be, it could be deer, could be bear, or a number of things. Likely not Yodi, but other stuff. Did I come in? I had to jump at one point. Is this the drier way, or looks that way? So yeah, protect yourself against ticks. You'll be happy that you did. Don't argue, just do it. So with that being said, we're going to work our way back, and we are going to go over to the corner where you have like a flat open area, and I'm going to put the drone up, kind of do a pan from a couple 100 feet up, get a look at what the larger area looks like in here, and cheat a little bit, steal the bird's eye view. And what I'm going to do now from over here is I'm going to take some photography on the way back, so I'm going to take a segment break rather than bore you with inane banter, and we'll be back in a bit. Okay, we're back. We're on the other side. Drone went up. We tested the other camera, which works well enough. I haven't seen the after product yet. Bear that in mind. So this is the other. I could have put up over here too, but when I was first in here, it wasn't really obvious how big this other meadow is through here, and I'm just looking for an opening to go over there. It's like basically 50 feet in, maybe that way, but some of this was denser than it looked, so looking to not repeat the exercise if I don't have to, and I think I have found how to do that. So we're just going to go through here. And again, just to mention the whole thought of the venue for the other group. Seems like they're setting up in the casino in southern Springfield, or so, yeah, in Springfield. And if I had to hazard a guess, it's probably going to be who are some known New Englandy speakers. Of course, he's going to cash in on Cliff and or Bobo. Nice little scenic pond in here, if you can get that. If not, I'll take a picture on the way out. Because he is prone to love to remind us that he knows these two. So, okay, duly noted. But then there's that Alexander, I forget his last name, something Russian sounding. He is, I want to say from New Hampshire. Don't hold me to that, but he could be. And we'll kind of see from there who else they come up with. They're saying the things like from late morning to 8 o'clock at night, so I guess you got to have more than a few speakers to fill the void. But all right, so here we have meadow number 2. Stream goes through there. And here's the trap of the eye. Over there it looks, it would help if you were to kind of straighten. Over there it looks like it opens up again, but unfortunately for myself and false hope and some really big, whatever the hell that poo is. Again, my foot for reference. That's some big poo. Hold on. What the poo is a matter of conjecture, but that's a big ass poo. Just given the sheer size of it, I would lean towards moose, but that doesn't really have moose consistency, really. So let's pop out here, see what we got real quick. More or less, more of the same, this kind of broken ground. On the other meadow, I found a couple of deer bedding areas. So I took a reference of that for just that reference. And in truth to the whole opens up over there thing, there is a meadow way the hell over there. If you want to go for a slog through the dense woods and run the risk of getting turned around and lost. I don't really care to do that, but we're going to kind of wander around here, look for anything obvious. The poo is actually an interesting sample of things. But beyond that, we are, again, kind of like, and check out the stream too, just to see if there's any muddy patches or anything. There was something, if you follow the brook, that would take you over that way, but again, it's not right next door, and I didn't really have plans to go majorly deep in. This was kind of a easy thing to get to, given the element of ease of ingress. Spider on my arm. So at this point, I am going to make this a short segment. We'll give you a quick overview of what I'm looking at. Tall grass, nice little meadow, little stream in between. And we're going to start moving back towards the trail and decide what our next move for the day is. We will be back. We'll try that again. Okay. I don't know how glamorous this is. This is my first attempt to show, like, as I do things in the woods. So, damn it. Put that on. Okay, that's connecting. Again, I don't know how glamorous this is going to prove to be, but okay. New firmware available. Normally that would be something that you need to take care of, but I'm in the middle of nowhere with no signal, and that doesn't always work out that way. So all I really hope to accomplish right now is to get a look of the overall area. As I said, I haven't been in here, so the first time bird's eye view. If I could stop, we'll see how it looks if I get up like 250 feet. I'm curious if that opens up over the way a little bit more. Stop that. Okay, so that doesn't look like it goes any further. Actually, there is a little, potentially, like a little valley or something goes that way. And if I go over here, there's like a little area that opens up over here, although it's not as big as I thought it was. Let's go up to 325. Oh, 336. That little meadow that opens up to that thing over there. Then I'm going to do a quick switch over here. And then there's this. Okay, and at this point, I'm going to save the drone for more and bring it down. During which time I'm going to like try to get a, where's the mountain? There it is. Wasn't supposed to be that warm today, but it's proving that it's actually getting a little bit warmer. So I guess the sweat resistance of this thing will be tested as well. But let's land first. We'll try that again. Okay. I don't know how glamorous this is. This is my first attempt to show, like, as I do things in the woods. So, damn it. Put that on. Put that on. Okay, that's connecting. Again, I don't know how glamorous this is going to prove to be, but okay. New firmware available. Normally that would be something that you need to take care of, but I'm in the middle of nowhere with no signal, and that doesn't always work out that way. So all I really hope to accomplish right now is to get a look of the overall area. As I said, I haven't been in here, so the first time bird's eye view. If I can stop, we'll see how it looks if I get up like 250 feet. I'm curious if that opens up over the way a little bit more. Stop that. Okay, so that doesn't look like it goes any further. Actually, there is a little, potentially, like a little valley or something goes that way. And if I go over here, there's like a little area that opens up over here, although it's not as big as I thought it was. Let's go up to 325. Oh, 336. That little meadow that opens up to that thing over there. Then I'm going to do a quick switch over here. And then there's this. Okay, and at this point, I'm going to save the drone for more and bring it down. During which time I'm going to like try to get a, where's the mountain? There it is. Wasn't supposed to be that warm today, but it's proving that it's actually getting a little bit warmer. So I guess the sweat resistance of this thing will be tested as well. But let's land first. Okay. Walk back to the car test. Just general stability of the camera on my head as I walk. Trail level, anyway. Past flaw with the iCam was the fact that it was the head movement was very jerky, just given the nature of that. This is a 2-gimbal camera, or 2-axis gimbal in the camera, so as I step on the various surfaces, it is going to bounce a little bit. So that's kind of the test, I guess, for the fluidity of the video from a hands-free thing. Also the test of my say goodbye to the nice meadow, the little pond and all. This doesn't have zoom. It's like the one flaw, but that's, I don't really know that I got it for that. More the case, I got it for, again, hands-free needs, and if I'm showing you something in camp, or if you want to see me launch the drone, if that lends a little bit more of the like moment by moment, play by play aspect to the video, then, you know, all the power to it. But for right now, field test. As I was saying before, as you get the people walking through here, this gets kind of muddy and nasty in some places. And so for the folks that come in here through here with sandals on, good luck with the mud. Hopefully it doesn't bother you too much. There you go. Now it looks like the AT. You're under the tree cover, and it gets instantly, you can tell the difference between being in the sun and out in the shade. Temperature probably has dropped easily 10 degrees. It was getting a little warm where I was. And again, if the video from this segment is a little jerky, that was basically the test. It has other applications too, but it's got a fixed mount at the bottom, so you can use it with a tripod. And nice thing about the small size of the camera, one button on, one button record, one button record off, and one button off, easy use. And you can just mount it on a tripod. Or wear it on your head if you want to bring it with you. The other camera has video, has a little bit more battery life, but like I said, this was just more for hands-free segments at this point. Should it prove to be more versatile though, that works too. But the plan at this juncture we start moving south, there's another area I may try to get into. I'll see what the logistics of that entail at the time, and we'll go from there. But nice thing is, we're in my immediate setup right now. I've got 3 cameras. If one goes poo-poo, I can fall back on the other ones. I've got the body cam too, which is not just good for 10 hours battery life. It also has what seems to be decent workable night vision. So for night ops, just like play-by-play at night, so long